we have here is the Flyzone Micro P38. It is in their TXR or RTF line of micros. It is their first twin engine micro, and one of the cool features is it does have the opposite rotating propellers that do spin in towards the fuselage just like the real thing. The airplane has a 21-inch wingspan. It is roughly 16 inches long. It weighs, ready to fly, with the 250 milliamp one-cell LiPo battery. It weighs roughly 2.4 to 2.6 ounces. It does have landing gear on it, which are removable, and the nose wheel is also steerable, which is really great when using the landing gear on pavement. And then they do just pop out. You can pop out the mains as well when you want to fly from grass and hand launch it. It does have an under-cambered airfoil, so that helps it fly slower for its size, but it does make it a little more difficult in inverted flight, as we'll show you later in the flight video. For control, it has the steerable nose wheel, like I said. It obviously has throttle, and then aileron and elevator. The rudders are not functional on this airplane, as that would be a rather complex thing on an airplane this small, and quite frankly, the way we fly the micros, they're really not needed. So, to access the battery, the nose comes off. It's held on by a little tab and a magnet. You connect the battery in, and then slide it into the nose, and it attaches with Velcro. And then the nose just snaps right back on. It works really well, and keeps the plane balanced without using a really heavy battery pack. Now, I purchased the ready to fly version. It was what it was available at the shop. It does come with a Tactic TTX 402. It's a 4-channel radio, so it has your throttle, rudder, aileron, elevator. It does have digital trims, and it does work all right. However, I like to use the Tactic TTX 650 for most of my micros. It's just one transmitter, and actually, I should say, with all of my TXR aircraft. It has 20 model memory, so I'm able to use it and only worry about bringing one transmitter for the various planes I'm bringing. The other advantage is it also allows me to set up dual rates on the switches, as well as adding in some expo and setting the endpoints for the different control features. On the ready to fly version, the transmitter also doubles as a battery charger. There's a little slide, a little hatch that opens, and then you simply just plug in the battery into the charging port, and then it'll charge up for you. If you get the TXR version, it will come with a separate battery charger as well. There's also the ever popular manual, which most of us will not read, but it is good to glance through it just in case you are not familiar with setting it up. If you're maybe using the AnyLink with another transmitter, it'll talk about which way, how to bind the AnyLink and what mode to put it in, but if you're using Futaba versus Spectrum or High-Tech and Aerotronics. One thing I did not have in there when programming my TTX 650 was any control throws. So I guessed, and from the flight video, it worked out pretty well. The one thing I will mention is that the nose wheel on this is very, very effective. So when using the ready to fly TTX 402, you'll want to be very light on the rudder when steering on the ground. And if you use a Tactic 650 or another one of your programmable radios, you'll want to turn the rates down and maybe dial in some expo on that nose wheel, because it is very effective and it turns very sharp. There's not much more I can say about it here on the bench, so let's go ahead and get out to the airfield. I'll show you, I'll put it through some paces, see what it can do, and we'll be back to sum it up. All right, so we took it out to the field and we flew it. It flew pretty well. There was about I checked the weather gauge out there. There's maybe about a 5-mile-an-hour breeze, but it handled it all right. Like I said, it was very touchy on the ground with the nose wheel steering, but it had plenty of power to climb. Loops were easy. Rolls were decent. Inverted flight, I had to use full stick, and I wasn't comfortable with it, so I brought it out right away. But it came in for landings very stable, just keeping just a little bit of power on. Taxiing was a little touchy. Like I say, you're going to want to try to dial down that nose wheel just a little bit. But other than that, it's fun. I think it'll be great for calm weather flying. It'll be something a little more unique than all the single engine micros. If you've been looking for one of them, check it out at your local hobby shop. The ready to fly version, I believe, is $139, and the transmitter ready version, I believe, is going to be $129 as well. So right in line with most of the other micros out there. So enjoy that. If you don't have a local hobby shop, do check it out. You can find them on towerhobbies.com.